Hi, so what is work in progress? Well, as the name suggests, it's work or a project that you're still working on. It's not been fully completed. Now, in accounting terms, work in progress is that time that's not been billed to clients. So unbilled work in progress, unbilled charges and expenses. Now, you really want to keep those to a minimum because it's very much like slow moving stock, and that could have a huge impact on your cash flow. But if you are recording work in progress and monitoring it and keeping check of that, then let's look at how we can actually use some of the tools in nettTracker to record our work in progress. Let's understand the two entries that we make when we're making adjustments for work in progress. So one side is going to affect our balance sheet, which would be a current asset, and the other side is going to affect our profit and loss, usually cost of goods sold. So those cost of goods sold could be your employee time, your subcontractor costs, maybe disbursements that you've had to pay on behalf of your client that you've not yet actually charged for. So when we make entries to increase our work in progress, we're going to debit the balance sheet, increase the value of an asset, and we're going to credit the profit and loss, which is going to decrease the costs in the P&L. When we decrease the value of work in progress, we credit the balance sheet and decrease the value of an asset. We also then put a debit into the profit and loss, which is going to increase the costs in the P&L. In this example, I'm using a nettTracker file that is attached to Sage. There are two chart of account categories in place for work in progress, a balance sheet account for current assets, and a profit and loss account, direct expenses, which is the same as your cost of goods sold. In this example, I'm looking at the profit and loss for 1 month, and there are subcontractors' costs in there for $12,000, but no income recorded at all. Now, there are two different ways in which we could approach this to really correct the profit and loss. We could actually accrue for the income, perhaps if it was invoiced out late. But in this example, we are looking at work in progress. So what we can do is we can make an adjustment for this. So really adjusting the direct expenses and moving that expense out of the profit and loss and creating an asset, that work in progress, in the balance sheet. In nettTracker, I've created a prepaid expense group for work in progress, and this has been mapped to the work in progress chart of account code back in Sage. So in this example, I'm creating a prepaid expense for the group work in progress, and this is for the entire work in progress of the company. I could put in the entries individually for each project if I wished, and I can actually import those using a template that is available. I can see the profit loss account that I am going to be adjusting, so 5051 work in progress adjustments. So the actual invoice bill date, so when that cost was actually incurred, the total value of that cost. It doesn't actually exist in the balance sheet yet, so there's no tick in that box. When do I want to start making my adjustments, releasing that cost back to the profit and loss? So that's going to start from the following month. And how many months do I want to make those adjustments for? In this example, just for 1 month, I'll release all the charges back, and then at the end of February, I could make my next lot of work in progress adjustments. The projections for work in progress adjustments show £15,000 being taken out of the profit and loss in January, and £15,000 being put back into the profit and loss in February. With the journals processed from nettTracker, we can see how the profit and loss is adjusted on the line for work in progress adjustments. As I previously mentioned, if you wanted all of your different projects to be listed separately, it's a lot easier to put all of that information onto our import template, just as I have it here on the screen. So I've got 4 projects with different values, where I'm going to take the cost out of the profit and loss in December and then it will get released back in January of the following year. After selecting my file to import, this is what the import screen looks like. Again, I can see the date where I'm taking the costs out of the profit and loss, and the date where I'll be putting those costs back into the profit and loss, again just for 1 month. All of those separate line items for work in progress now appear on my statement of work in progress within my prepaid expenses, which agrees back to the value of work in progress on my balance sheet. I hope you found that short video of some interest. If you're looking to save some time, improve your efficiencies on making adjustments to your profit and loss and ensuring that those balance sheet accounts are neatly reconciled, then take a look at how nettTracker can help you with your fixed assets, your depreciation, your prepaid expenses, your accrued expenses, your deferred revenue and your accrued revenue too. Thank you for watching.